A warning to renters as a BBC London investigation hears from several people who say they fell victim to a rental scam in the London Bridge area.
That was when he told me that his dad passed away. And that was when he started to avoid paying me the money and telling me all these excuses.
Also on tonight's programme, tests for prostate cancer have begun at a clinic in Ealing as part of a UK trial to improve screening for the disease.
I'm at an exhibition in central London surrounded by some of the world's most iconic pictures, all here to celebrate 200 years since the very first photograph.
London's thriving fringe and off-West End theatres offering more local venues and cheaper tickets. Now, non-crime hate incidents will be officially scrapped 5 months after London's Met Police announced it would stop investigating them. The force made the move after dropping a probe into social media posts by Father Ted creator Graham Linehan. A road in Brixton was closed earlier after a lorry became stuck under a bridge. It happened on the junction of Cold Harbour Lane and Atlantic Road. Structural engineers were called in to assess whether the bridge was safe. And US rapper Kanye West has been announced as the headliner for all 3 nights of this year's Wireless Festival in Finsbury Park. The controversial star last performed in the UK when he headlined Glastonbury in 2015. Some other stories from around our region, and in Berkshire, the local council has taken the first steps in looking at how Twyford Station's long-standing access problems could be resolved. In Essex, the residents who came together to clear debris from a riverbank in Holbridge after swans were getting injured. And in Surrey, the dad from Effingham who will run 156 miles across the Sahara Desert over 6 days to raise money for his son's school. All of these stories are available to read on the BBC News app.
Police are failing to deal with unacceptable levels of hate crime against women and girls on public transport. That's according to a new report from the London Assembly Police and Crime Committee. Figures from the British Transport Police showed that last year around 97% of these types of offences did not result in a charge when reported. BTP and the Met say they will review the findings. London's small independent theatre sector celebrated 20 years of the Off-West End Awards last night, also known as the Offies. Bosses say the cost of living is turning people away from the expensive tickets of the West End and is making cheaper, smaller productions more attractive.
Off-West End has boomed. It's become a golden age of independent theatre in this city. Beyond across the UK, and the Offies is an important part of recognising that work and keeping it sustainable fundamentally.
There's now just 3 days left for someone to claim a winning national lottery ticket worth £10.6 million. The ticket was bought in Bexley. It matched all 6 numbers in the draw on the 4th of October. The winner has until Thursday to come forward.
A BBC London investigation has found renters paying thousands of pounds for a room in a property only to find that it isn't actually available. We've heard from several people who've fallen victim to the scam. Well, it involved them handing over a deposit for a place in London Bridge. The would-be landlord then said that his father had died, and so renting the room could no longer go ahead. Sophie Bott has this exclusive report.
He said, "Hey, my name's Freddie. I have a flat for rent."
It gives you that sense of security of like, okay, I've got his identification.
He avoided meeting up.
Doreen, Andy and Sarah say they are victims of a scam, where they each paid just over £1,000 deposit to rent a room in this 3-bedroom flat. But they never even got to move in.
The prospect of studying abroad was something I've always wanted to do. And when I got my acceptance letter into King's, I was like, oh my gosh, is this actually happening?
Finding the flat felt like a dream come true for soon-to-be Londoner Doreen Harris.
I was very excited to come to London.
But after handing over a deposit, she says she slowly realised she had been scammed. Freddie Priestley contacted Doreen about renting his flat after she had posted on Facebook that she was looking for a room.
Really, it all took place within a couple of hours, like messaging back and forth and viewing the apartment over, video call. And that's, so I did send the money the same day and signed the agreement. He sent me a photo of his driver's license and some sort of proof that he lived at the flat. So it all seemed on that side to add up. It was kind of this borderline of like, do I trust my gut? It's telling me something's off, but also at the same time, this person is who he says he is.
Doreen couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong, so tried to cancel her lease with Freddie.
After I applied the pressure and said, you know, hey, I want my deposit back, you promised to send it back after we agreed to no longer move forward with the lease. The first excuse is, oh, DPS has the money, oh, Monday was a bank holiday. So he wasn't fully ghosting me ever, but he would breadcrumb me along the way until I basically had enough and posted on Facebook.
Her post received a large amount of likes, shares and comments from other people, some of whom said they'd had the same experience. Andy Hu was one of them.
I met him in person, and I think immediately after meeting him, I thought, oh, he's actually a normal person. Like, he was showing me around, and then like it looked really homey, it looked really, really nice.
Andy also paid the £1,050 deposit and signed the contract the same day, but soon after, he became concerned.
He said he would send me the confirmation once he deposited into the scheme. I had to keep pushing him for him to give me the confirmation letter.
It's a legal requirement for landlords to protect the deposit in a government-approved deposit protection service within 30 days. The DPS then confirmed to Andy that the receipt Freddie had sent him was not genuine.
A week before move-in, that was when he told me that his dad passed away. And obviously it was the worst timing ever. And I said, that's fine. Can I have my deposit back so I have enough money to pay for my next place? And that was when he started to avoid paying me the money and telling me all these excuses with his bank account. And I think that was when I just had enough.
Freddie also lied about his father dying to Sarah North, preventing her from moving into his flat.
He was just making out his father had passed away when we all found out, and I've seen him in person, not spoken to him, but I know others have spoken to him, and he is very much alive. You don't joke about death. You know, you lost a lot of people in my life, and you don't mess around with that.
Freddie has not repaid Doreen, Andy or Sarah their money. In an email, Freddie admitted that the flat was never available for rent and he took their money due to his gambling addiction, and said he eventually wants to make things right. Nye Jones from Generation Rent says that rental scams are a growing problem.
What we're seeing is there's less and less homes affordable for people to rent, and more people getting sucked into potential scams by the scammers offering kind of prices that are in the end too good to be true. So the Renters' Rights Act is a vital first step in addressing the power imbalance between tenants and landlords. Sometimes in scams we see the scammer asking for huge amounts of rent in advance up front to try and maximise their profits. So if someone's asking you for 2-3 months rent in advance, that will be illegal. So you should be pretty sure at that point that something dodgy is going on. But that kind of affordability crisis and the desperation people are feeling won't really be addressed.
From May, properties will be rented on a rolling basis rather than under fixed 12 or 24-month contracts. Tenants will have to give 2 months' notice instead. The bill will also end Section 21 no-fault evictions. But for people like Doreen, changes in the rental sector have come far too late.
As a student who doesn't have any income, like that money could have, paid for another month's rent of my current flat. It's a lot of mixed feelings. I am still angry, and I just hope that we can get justice.
Meta, who owns Facebook, says it does not allow fraudulent activity and works closely with law enforcement to support investigations and keep scammers off its platforms. The Met Police said they've received multiple reports of alleged rental fraud between July and October 2025, and detectives are still investigating, and anyone who may have experienced a similar situation to get in touch with them. We contacted Mr. Priestley for a response, but he declined to comment. Sophie Bott, BBC London.
Well, if you've had a similar experience, or perhaps there's another issue that you'd like us to investigate, well, do get in touch through Your Voice at the address there, or just scan the QR code. Or, of course, you can email us at hellobbclondon@bbc.co.uk.